Hello there, extraordinary beings. Urban Diaryz platform was created to allow for the expression of one's thoughts and feelings in a public forum. I've been around for quite a few decades, and, as I grew up from my childhood all the way through to my adulthood, I was never understood, and I continue to be misunderstood by my peers to this very day. My personality is very much that of a people person, and I am always willing to lend a helping hand or listen to someone who needs it. In fact, I would describe oneself as a doormat, where anyone can just stand on me and not be bothered. Being teased, ridiculed, and made a mockery of, held me back, and over the years, my emotions has been all over the place. Angry with the world, my family, and even my coworkers. The most effective tool for me in order to release the painful feeling and my inner thought was to write it down on paper. But, for some reason, every now and then, depressing thoughts would invade my consciousness. You see, I'm a naturally gifted individual, who has a proclivity for waking up early in the morning to indulge in my creative pursuit. Whenever my creative inner being told me to do something, I would get up and write it down. I would make a to-do list of all of the business ventures that I wished to undertake and complete. It was my family who first encouraged me to pursue these ideas, but over time they seemed to lose interest, and I was left back at square one, with only my thoughts and ideas. I had hoped that at the very least your family would be your most enthusiastic supporter, but unfortunately this is not the case for some. I would then go back into myself and ask myself, what is it about me that makes some people dislike me to the point where they just didn't want to really get to know me? Despite the fact that my husband and children are always there to support me in whatever way they can, I still felt a little lonely. My siblings are present, but they are merely present. I understand that everyone has a life to live, but if everyone is striving for the same goals, why is it so difficult for us to come together and collaborate by knocking our thoughts and ideas together? I've now reached a point where I've stopped attempting to include others and am simply doing things for myself. I'm exhausted and simply fed up, and there are times when I just want to throw in the towel. But then I say to myself, I have a family to look after, my children who rely on me for their well-being. Having a daughter with special needs only adds fuel to the fire of determination. I have to keep going. You see, she was messed up by the very same system that was supposed to be protecting our children, but has instead done the polar opposite of what was intended. When they injected that poison into my daughter, it has a profound effect on her life, transforming it completely. This completely destroyed myself and my family for a long period of time. It felt like I was banging my head against a brick wall in the hope that someone would hear and feel our suffering, but no one did. My daughter's outbursts would be witnessed by family members, and these outbursts could happen anywhere at any time, especially while out shopping, and passers-by would just stare at you in disbelief, wondering why I couldn't control my daughter. I had reached a point where I didn't care what other people thought of me. I was simply enraged by the state of the world. I'm a mother who suffers, but I continue to rise because the world requires my presence. When I look back, I wish things had been different, but there is nothing I can do to change them. One day, I know there will be light at the end of the tunnel, and it will be for those who can relate to my story when that day comes. This platform was created for people who are like-minded, who can relate to one another, and for those who are constantly battling with their inner thoughts and emotions. While browsing through the topics, keep in mind that they are all based on real-life events. You'll get a taste of everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Created for anyone and everyone who can relate to what is being said. And please do not hesitate to share your thoughts and your story with Urban Diaryz so that we can share it with the rest of the world. A problem aired is a problem shared. I always keep the words, "we are not alone," in my mind at all times. Urban Diaryz is the author of this story.